How's it going, everyone? We have quite a few PlayStation updates to get to in this video. There are rumblings that there will be some smaller PlayStation titles that will be dropping this year from first party. We'll talk about that. And on top of that, if you have yet to check out the System Shock remake, a big update for that game is coming out here very shortly. It'll be a free update, and with that, some new content will be rolling out, so that's pretty exciting. So we'll get to that in a little bit, but first of all, right off the top, I do want to note that Jeff Grubb had noted, I do keep hearing there will be some smaller first-party games for PlayStation 5, like that Astro game that is supposedly happening this year. So as far as first party this year goes, I think that's what the majority of us had expected, that there will be some sort of first party presence this year from PlayStation. But when you think about Sony and first party, and going back for a while, generally speaking, most years you could expect 2, if not 3, major first-party titles being released. 2023 was a far cry from that, where you had only 1 major first-party release in Spider-Man 2. But if you go back to 2022, that year, you had Horizon Forbidden West, you had Gran Turismo 7, and you had God of War Ragnarok. You had 3 huge first-party games released in 2022. If you go back to 2021, you had Returnal and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Memory is a little bit foggy if there was anything else that year, but you still had 2 major releases that year. On top of that, going back to 2020, that year was just crazy because you had the launch of the PlayStation 5, you had Spider-Man Miles Morales, you had Last of Us Part 2, you have Ghosts of Tsushima, and you had the Demon's Souls remake. Now, at that point, Bluepoint wasn't owned by Sony, so I guess maybe that can't be counted as a first-party title, but they were acquired, I believe, right after that, so take that for what you will. But as far as smaller PlayStation first-party releases, yeah, we might see a new Astro game, yeah, we might see Gravity Rush 2 remastered, but it's very rare unless it's a year where Sony announced a new console, where they reveal a game, and then the release comes very quickly thereafter. Sony's one of those publishers that reveals their games 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years ahead of time. Sometimes those games are delayed via delays and whatnot, but look at like Last Guardian, announced in 2009, came out in 2016. Look at something like the Wolverine game, announced in 2021, probably going to come out in 2026. Best case scenario, it's usually a 2-year turnaround time, where you had something like Horizon Forbidden West getting announced in 2020 and then coming out in 2022. Now, 2 years is around what they typically do. However, I really do believe, if they are being this quiet, that if they are having a dead 2024, I don't foresee it being a dead 2025. I just can't see that happening. I think Death Stranding 2 is going to come out. I get it that, you know, Kojima's team isn't a first party, but I think Death Stranding 2 will come out next year. I think Ghost of Tsushima 2 has a possibility of coming out next year. And I think whatever Naughty Dog has been working on, if it's actually far along, I think that has potential to come out in 2025. But that's all 2025. And I think whatever we do as far as a PlayStation showcase, if that's happening next month, the focus should be, there's no saving 2024. 2024 is what it is. You've got your third-party exclusives, timed exclusives like FF7 Rebirth, and then you can rely on games like Stellar Blade, Ronin, and hopefully like a GR2 remaster. Maybe you'll get some DLC in there. I think that would be pretty beneficial, but 2024 is kind of a wash. You kind of have to throw in the towel, and you have to face the repercussions of delaying a lot of releases to focus on live service games that aren't going to pan out. That's just the reality of the situation right now. So 2024, you kind of have to take it for what it is, but if we can get a GR2 remastered, a new Astro game, okay, some of that stuff will at least excite a smaller portion of the audience. It's not going to be those big budget titles that I think a lot of people are looking forward to, but let's set up for a big 2025. Let's set up for games like whatever Sucker Punch is working on, Sony Bend, although that might be a live service game, Naughty Dog, and Death Stranding 2, I think, could be a major game. Obviously, yeah, that's not a first-party title, but you get the idea. There's a lot of big games that we can get going, and the third-party published titles, like a Stellar Blade and Ronin, at least those are notable titles. Stellar Blade especially, I think, is going to be received rather well, and that's a game that, at least for 2024, is a very exciting release. But especially for the latter portion of 2024, I would really temper your expectations as far as getting anything big. It is unfortunate that it's been back-to-back pretty mediocre years for PlayStation as far as first party is concerned. Again, 1 game last year, 0 games this year, but what can you do? These things happen. And when I say one game last year, 0 games this year, I get it. Smaller games will happen. GR2 Remastered hopefully will happen. Astrobot, so on and so forth. But we're talking big games. Last year, we got some VR titles like Horizon Call of the Mountain. We got Horizon Burning Shores. There were smaller scale releases that did come out last year outside of Spider-Man 2. But as far as those top tier AAA releases, very few and far between as far as that's concerned. It is what it is. I think at this point, it's best that we set up for a big 2025 than really focus on 2024 as far as first party is concerned. And, you know, if the game's not far long enough, there's no possible way it can come out in 24 anyway. Next up, I do want to note that System Shock is hitting consoles here very shortly, and a brand new update for the game is coming out. Update version 1.2 System Shock update will add a bunch of enhancements that console players will be enjoying, including the addition of a revised ending that upgrades the final confrontation with Shodan, the ability to play as a female hacker protagonist, enemy AI improvements, a new waypoint system for the easy mode difficulty, and additional fixes. I know people will be like, oh my god, easy mode. I mean, let people play on easy mode if they want, and if it makes the game more accessible to a larger audience, there's nothing wrong with that. System Shock the Remake was really well received. It came out back in May of 2023, not to a ton of fanfare. It only released on PC, but 6,100 Steam user reviews, 92% of those reviews are positive. Visually looked great, had a great atmosphere as well. If you're into first-person games, gonna be one that you probably enjoy. IGN, I believe, gave it a 9 out of 10, so really well received. I know System Shock is a franchise that's probably more associated with PC gaming rather than console gaming, but, you know, still gonna be something worthwhile to check out, and it will be at a budget price point. It's getting a new update. It's gonna be even better with this release, and that update is rolling out on April the 12th for PC as well, so PC players that already own the game are going to be able to take advantage of all of the updates and whatnot. So that's quite nice as well. Now, the System Shock Remake is not gonna drop on PlayStation 5 until May the 21st, so still a little ways away, but a free update for that game as it is getting more content rolled into it and quality of life improvements as well, so that's nice to see. So that is gonna wrap it up for me. Again, a little bit of a bummer. We've talked about it ad nauseum, and really, we were talking about it like halfway through 2023, that 2024, there was the potential of it being a barren year for PlayStation as far as first party goes. They've got these third-party published titles, and Stellar Blade, Ronin has got more of a mid-level reception, and Stellar Blade hopefully will end up being really, really good. And, you know, you had FF7 Rebirth, timed exclusive nonsense as far as that's concerned, but hopefully we do see some big titles in 2025. I think that's what we should be focused on. Screw 2024 at this point, throw in the towel, set up for a big 2025, and, you know, especially if we're getting the PlayStation 5 Pro coming out here soon, whether it be end of this year, early next year, you want to have some games ready that really showcases what that platform can do as well. I get it that that's going to be more of a niche platform for people to buy, but might as well sell more people on it by having some compelling games to come out around the same time or the following year after it. And also, a System Shock free update will be coming, and the game will be dropping on consoles May the 21st. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.